A very good morning or good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining and a warm welcome to day 42 of Elevate 111 Days of Conscious Living. This program is being organized by Meditation Magic in collaboration with Omega Pyramid Foundation, WOVI, Women of Visionary Influence, and Mindful Masters Toastmasters Club. We are back again today with yet another wonderful speaker, Gowthami, who is a software engineer and a meditator. Today, she is going to share insights on an interesting topic, consciousness and creation. Let's all welcome Gowthami. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Meditation Magic, for giving me this opportunity to learn more about consciousness. It's not about talking more about consciousness. When Divya asked me to speak about consciousness, right at that point of time, I was still learning about consciousness. Even though people are talking about consciousness a lot in and around me, I've not fully immersed in it and I'm not fully absorbed with it. So from then onwards, I've started understanding more about consciousness. And for me, what I have understood, I'll try to put in best words that I can. So when we hear about the consciousness, we all think that I mean, especially me, I think that it's an alien subject. But to deeply understand about it, consciousness, what I have understood is it is nothing, but yet it is everything. So it is where the creation have been started from. And for me, it is like a state of being aware, which means you have to be aware of everything, the root cause, the causation effect of the creation. So that is consciousness. I have prepared a small PPT to understand and put something in visual format of my understanding regarding the consciousness. I'll share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. Consciousness, what I'm speaking about, it is nothing, but it is everything. So, first of all, when we talk about consciousness, the most prominent thing that we'll be talking about is the Shiva. When we think of Shiva or that thought of Shiva comes to our mind, we'll be representing him as an ideal format, is in a format of Shivalingam or in a format of this. The person form, right? But actually Shiva means the consciousness. It is the consciousness itself. The driving force behind this consciousness is the Shakti. So there was a little bit of story tied towards it. It dates back to the old century in Dwapar Yuga. It has been noted down. The reference has been taken down from Rukmini, The Turning of Time and Dawn of an Era. There is a little bit of narration in that book regarding this consciousness, whereas Shiva has helped Shakti, Parvati Ma, to dissolve his original form as Sati and then re-emerge as Parvati to fully realize her own consciousness. For example, why did that happen? Because when the consciousness itself wanted to manifest something or create something, it needs its own Shakti to be by his side to get that creation going on. So without the Shakti, it can't have a full form of creation. So consciousness, it's a silent witness and it's a potential and it's a state of being. But when it has to have that movement going forward, it needs the energy, expression, and action, and the movement should go on. And if the creation has to happen, there should be an energy added to that consciousness, and then it is the Shakti. And this particular format of Ardhanarishwara Tattvam represents that consciousness merging with Shakti, and then Shakti with merging with consciousness. It is like they are not individual beings, they are the one being that helps the creation to move forward, and then energy to move forward. Together they represent the union of consciousness and energy, which makes all of this universe and their existence possible. So that is what is called as Shiva and Shakti, and that is why Shiva has helped to dissolve original form of Sati and then re-emerge herself as Parvati, and he himself has helped Parvati Ma to identify her own potential and merge with the full consciousness. The day when this consciousness and Shakti merged with each other is called as Shivratri, and that's why when this on that day there's a full of love energy that is being dissipated across the universe, and we just we will try to awaken ourselves, our body, and then sit in meditation and then try to absorb that love energies within ourselves. That is the particular form of the Shiva and Shakti, which is also called as Ardhanarishwara Tattvam. And that is regarding this form. And then I would like to highlight another form called as Vishnu and Shakti. The reason why I'm representing the energy form as Shakti is because they are not a single individual like Parvati Ma, Lakshmi Mata, Saraswati Mata. It's not, they are not like individual forms. They are in the form of energies that are uniting with their own consciousness, which helps us, which helps their purpose to be successful. So this is Vishnu form and Shakti form, which is responsible to preserve or to help the evolution of species, evolution of beings. So that's why whatever the form that they take, like Rama, Sita, or Krishna, Rukmini, Yashodhara, Gautama Buddha, any form that they take, they'll help people to evolve in their next stage and help them to realize their own consciousness and merge with the ultimate consciousness. If Shiva is referred to as ultimate consciousness, it is the form where we all have to identify our merge into in the ultimate stage. For example, we as a mineral kingdom or an animal kingdom, we are created from that ultimate consciousness, and our ultimate goal is to merge with that ultimate consciousness. Now, Vishnu and Shakti, Vishnu's consciousness and the Shakti's consciousness, as Lakshmi or Narayani, who whatever the name that we refer to them as, they will help us in evolving at a accelerated phase, and then they'll help us in merging to that realizing our own consciousness and then merging with that ultimate consciousness. That is a beautiful creation of this beautiful thing behind this creation of universe. And this form of consciousness and Shakti will help us in preserving dharma, compassion, and it will nurture us, and then help us in creating help us in feeling with abundant love and beauty, and will also help us in evolution. So the next form is Brahma and Saraswati. We all think that this Brahma is the creator of the universe. He himself is has been emerged from that ultimate consciousness. He himself has been created from that ultimate consciousness. So there was a little bit of story tied towards it. When Brahma was created, and then he was like, uh, yeah, he knows who Vishnu is. Then then he asked Vishnu, saying that, okay, what is my purpose now? Then Vishnu told that, okay, sit and meditate until you realize who you are. Then he sat and meditated for eons and eons together, and then he realized that aham brahmasmi, which means I am Brahma. Then he was referred to as Brahma. From that point of time, he was called as Brahma. And then he realized that he was created from that consciousness, and he himself was the consciousness. Whenever we are enlightened, whenever any person who is enlightened, he or she will realize that, okay, I am created from that ultimate consciousness, and I am the consciousness itself. Because our human brain is fully equipped with that consciousness. And there was little bit of narration in Rukmani's book too, saying that there is this ultimate consciousness which is called as Parabrahma. We will refer to that consciousness as Parabrahma. And then when the flutter of movement has been occurred in that consciousness, the thought, the manifestation of many things has happened, which is like creation of many things, like trees, yeah, trees, which we call as Parijata tree, cows, and lot many things. Even Lakshmi Devi has been manifested from that ultimate consciousness, which is a Shakti form. We all have written, we all have listened to that story, right? Like churning of the milk ocean. So that is also like churning off that consciousness where lot of creations have been happened from. In that way, Brahma also has been created from that ultimate consciousness, and then his Shakti by his side is Saraswati, and we all know who Saraswati is. Saraswati is nothing but who is nothing but she is a knowledge. She is referred to as knowledge. So when Brahma wants to create anything in this universe, the consciousness that is tied towards the knowledge, if the knowledge is tied towards that consciousness, then the beauty happens, the beauty of creation emerges. Without this energy, without this Shakti, without this knowledge by the side of the consciousness, it is nothing but it's just a creation. There's not, no movement or beauty tied towards it. So anything, any creation out of the knowledge will amplify its energy, and then it makes us look more beautiful. For example, let me give you a example in a very lay terms to understand. uh, you can create a business, right? Any one of us can create a business, but in order to run the business, we need to have that knowledge. So when you implement your knowledge towards it, or when you tie the knowledge towards your business, it's not only establishing the business. You have to run the business and make profits out of it and serve people, serve community, and you have to run that business in order to make some amount or money out of it. Then definitely the knowledge is very important. Without that knowledge, we can't run the business, right? So that's why all this consciousness and then knowledge of this creation goes hand in hand, to in order to make it more beautiful. So when you write a book, I'll give you another example. When you write a book, it's consciousness, right? But what do you write the book with? You have to have a knowledge towards it, right? So it's not about thinking that only I write the book, but we have to have a knowledge towards it, and then using that knowledge, we try to give some poetic example, amplify the intensity of that poetic phrases and all that. uh, we have to uh, uh, we have to give a transformative insights towards that book, right? That way it will look more beautiful. That way it will reach out to millions of people and change their lives. So that is an impact of writing a book. So all this Shakti and then consciousness goes hand in hand. And without Shakti by the side of consciousness, it's nothing. It's like just a state of being. In order to create and manifest and move along, consciousness needs Shakti by their side. And I'll give you and here we are talking about conscious eating. We all, as a meditators, we all know what conscious eating is, conscious parenting is, conscious things is, right? So for example, conscious parenting, it's not about giving birth to child. You have to educate the child. You have to raise a child with the knowledge. Without knowledge, if you raise a child, then it's like you don't have that bond of relationship with you and your child, right? So that's why I think having a knowledge when raising a child is very much important and very much tied to consciousness plus shakti uh, in parents, and then giving that information on raising a child with consciousness and shakti, and passing on that consciousness to the children, so that they will grow beautifully. So, and again, the food that we talk about, it's about realizing the consciousness of the food, where it is created from. And the Shakti in it is already tied to it. For example, when a food is altered, its original in its from its original form, then if we take that altered food, then we are losing the consciousness. We're putting that altered consciousness in our body, and then we are losing that Shakti when the food is altered, right? We lose its shakti, and then we if we are taking that simple form of altered consciousness, and there's no shakti in it, then what are we taking the food for? Because our body is full of consciousness and then shakti, because we have prana, we are living, right? We have prana inside our body. If we are not taking prana while eating the food, what is that consciousness merging with? We need energy to live, right? So how does that energy come from? Food is one source. Of course, meditation is the main source, but yet food is also another source. And we are taking that altered form of consciousness without shakti, and then we are not providing a proper nutrition, so we are lacking that energy. We are suppressing that energy inside our body. So that's why we talk about conscious eating, conscious parenting, and all this stuff, to realize which are all the sources to help us realize our own consciousness, where we came from and where we have to merge from. So these are the examples, and these are the things that we refer to as consciousness and shakti. And I would like to give another example related to consciousness and shakti. Uh, the one good example that I learned is Arjuna getting Pashupatastra. For let me give you an example here. So Arjuna, we all know Arjuna as a great or a skillful warrior, right? When we look at him as a skillful warrior, what is the importance of it? There was this story back in Mahabharata saying that Arjuna meditated over Shiva, and then he achieved that Pashupatastra, which is a great missile, which has a capacity to destroy these triple worlds. So that is one good example. Now, why did but the thing that what I have observed here is Arjuna didn't use that Pashupatastra in anywhere in Mahabharata. He attained that, he achieved that Pashupatastra, and Shiva has also given that Pashupatastra in thinking that he might never use that, because it has a capacity to even destroy, not only neutralize or destroy other weapons, but also he has it has a capacity to destroy entire universe when it is discharged. But what is the purpose of getting this Pashupatastra? Then when I was thinking this, there was some other reference that I got from. It is about achieving the highest mental stability. Arjuna is not only a great skillful warrior, he is also a he has great mental capabilities, great mental stability. While he was actually meditating over Shiva. Shiva means while he was actually meditating on that ultimate consciousness, there shouldn't be a single thought that enters his mind. Because when we meditate, there are a lot of thoughts that are running in our brain. Even though we have a destination, we have a goal towards our meditation, we kind of just try to deviate, because our minds are like, we are still emerging at meditation at some point of time. But meditating over that ultimate consciousness, and the goal of getting Pashupatastra requires highest mental capabilities. Now, when he is trying to meditate over that ultimate consciousness, um, uh, not even a single thought of distraction should enter his brain. If that thought ever enters, what happens is he would have to start all over again. So he has already been trained for that highest mental capabilities by Krishna and Rukmini Mata, and then he sat in meditation, and there was lot of tests that was given by Shiva, and then he passed every test, and at the end he has given that Pashupatastra, which is a result of having the highest mental capabilities, which means he himself has realized to have that strong mental capabilities, and tried to meditate over emptiness. It's not on Shiva. It's how the story, the front end of the story looks like. But when we try to see beyond the story, what is it meaning? He is trying to meditate over the emptiness, which means his brain is he realized that our brain is very super machine, and then he is trying to meditate over that emptiness, and then he has achieved his goal of getting Pashupatastra, a greatest missile which he didn't have to use in Kurukshetra. And for me, there was another thought: if he didn't have to use it, why did he tried this hard to get that missile, is what my question is. Then when I was thinking that, I was reading further lines, and then the most reason behind it is nothing but it's not only about achieving the goal, it's also about maintaining that achievement. That's the most important thing. For example, in Kurukshetra, it's a huge war. For example, if I have some powers, if someone comes to me and then triggers me with my emotions, then I'll use those powers to on them, right? And then that's a human brain, that's a typical human brain. uh, but as we meditate along, as we try to progress in our meditation, the main goal of our meditation is to work on our emotions, to not fall for that triggers. That's one particular goal where we can work on our emotions. So, if we are thinking like that, how would Arjuna be trained for? How would Arjuna think? Arjuna has that highest mental capability to actually maintain that state of his achievement. That's why he was given that Pashupatastra. And there was lots and lots of things that is going on in Kurukshetra, but yet he was not fallen for those all those triggers. Even his own son called Abhimanyu, he was beaten to death. He was like completely smashed in an adharma way, and then he was completely beaten to death in adharma way, where everyone around in and around Kurukshetra, they felt bad. Even the opposition side, they felt very bad for the way that that was killed by Kauravas for Abhimanyu. So even then he didn't actually fall for it, and then he didn't use Pashupatastra. That was his kind of mental stability. That's why he was given that Pashupatastra. No one else with that I mean, yeah, there are people who has that have the mental efficiency too, but even Shiva and Krishna, Lord Vishnu, they found Arjuna to be most capable person to have that achievement. That's why that is the form of realize that is the importance of realizing the consciousness, the ultimate consciousness. When you try to realize the ultimate consciousness that is built within you, then it's not about the achievement, it's about the maintaining that state after that achievement also comes within you, to use it properly in a rightful way. That is what is called as dharma. Dharma is nothing but using your achievement in a rightful way, is what I would say. So that those are the things that I've realized about the consciousness, and realizing the consciousness, and and also not realizing the consciousness. It's about implementing those consciousness in our day to day life, which will make our life more beautiful and our surroundings more beautiful. So this is what is consciousness, and it's for and it's I mean it's hand in hand, I would say, is Shakti. We need to realize more about the Shakti, because there are lots of Shaktis. When we think of Shakti, we will it is about the feminine energy. Mostly it is referred to as feminine energy, and consciousness is referred to as masculine energies. And that form of Ardhanarishwara tattvam, it is nothing but the masculine energies and feminine energies merging into with each other, and making this creation of universe more and more beautiful. Whatever that has been created in this universe, it is the result of that Ardhanarishwara Tattvam, which is consciousness and Shakti. So we all do have that consciousness, masculine and feminine energies balanced, but somehow sometimes we do possess some masculine qualities, masculine energies as a higher things, and then sometimes we do have this feminine energies in high. But balancing both of them and realizing our own ultimate consciousness is a key factor where the Shakti will help us. Always, for example, when we look at Rama and Sita, Rukmini and Krishna, or whatever the form, Gautama Buddha or Yasodhara, they Shakti will always help us realize or merge towards the consciousness. That is why they don't want to stay apart. When Rama and Sita were separated due to an unfortunate event, they longed for each other, because without Shakti, consciousness is nothing, and without consciousness, Shakti is nothing. If they are apart, the creation won't happen, right? That's why they were longing to meet with each other, to have a beautiful creation for us, only to have a beautiful creation. That's why they were not they can't be apart. And that's the important or beauty behind these forms that we all need to learn. And I would suggest, let us try to meditate on the consciousness that we are aware of, and we'll talk about this if anyone has any questions after the meditation.